The shelter clerk didn't hide her disgust. She crossed her arms, leaned against the scratched counter, and sighed loudly. That thing. You want that one? Ji-yoon nodded slowly. She stood in front of the glass panel, staring at the curled-up creature in the back of the cage. It looked part cat, part something from a nightmare. It had 3 eyes that blinked at different speeds, a tail like a broken whip, and short bristled fur that changed color when it hissed. Its paws were large with sharp claws that scraped the metal floor. No one wants it, the clerk added. It bites. It screams all night. It fried our last security drone just by looking at it too long. A small sign was stuck to the enclosure. Unadoptable class to hazard. Will bite, do not tap glass, but Ji-yoon didn't look scared. Her eyes stayed on the creature. Yes, she said. I'll take him. The clerk muttered something under her breath and pulled out a cracked tablet. Name Ji-yoon, species, human, home. Orbit station 17B. The clerk gave her a long look. You live alone, Ji-yoon nodded. I work maintenance on wrecked shuttles. I don't need company. But I think he does. The clerk scoffed. He's been returned 7 times. Broke a child's arm once. We call him Spit. That's what he does. He spits green stuff, burns metal, and he's always angry. That's not his name anymore, Ji-yoon said. I'll call him Day. She didn't say more. She just signed the forms. And 2 loading bots carried the hissing alien cat into a small crate and loaded it onto her shuttle. Day growled the whole time. Back on her shuttle, Ji-yoon sat across from the crate and waited. Day snarled, showing sharp, uneven teeth. 1 fang was broken. A piece of his left ear was missing. His middle eye blinked slower than the others. You're safe now, she said softly. No one's going to hurt you. The first night, Day destroyed 2 thermal blankets, scratched up the edge of her pilot chair, and peed on her engine mat. He screamed every time Ji-yoon got too close. She didn't touch him. She didn't even raise her voice. She just spoke calmly, fixing wires and humming while she worked. You've been hurt before, haven't you? She said one night. They poked and shocked you. They didn't see what else you could be. Day hid under the tool cabinet for 3 days. He wouldn't eat the protein packs she offered. He only sniffed the power core near the wall. Wait, Ji-yoon said on the 4th day. She unplugged a used battery core from a dead drone and placed it gently in front of him. Day sniffed it once, then again, then he wrapped his strange paws around it and began to suck energy from it, like it was warm milk. He purred, deep and low, like a fuel tank humming. Ji-yoon smiled. That's more like it. Days passed. Day still avoided touch. He bit the lights off her hallway wall. He melted the door controls twice. But he no longer screamed when she entered the room. He started to sit closer while she fixed shuttle engines. He'd tilt his head when she sang. One afternoon, Ji-yoon dropped a metal wrench on her foot. She cried out in pain, holding her ankle. Day rushed over. His tail lashed back and forth. He opened his mouth wide and sprayed a green mist onto her ankle. She froze, gasping. The pain was gone. Completely. She looked at him. You healed me. Day stared at her with all 3 eyes, then bit her lightly on the hand, and ran away. After that, things changed. Day stopped hiding. He curled up next to her engine while she worked. He licked battery wires. He hated bright lights and loud sounds, but he loved music, especially humming. One morning, Ji-yoon woke up and found him curled up on her chest, purring deeply. She didn't move. She just placed a hand gently on his back. He didn't run. He leaned into her palm. Weeks passed. Word started to spread. First, among the junk traders. Hey, that girl from Orbit 17B. She's got some freaky cat that fixed her sprained shoulder. Then among the black market mechanics. That thing growled at my ship. And the NAV system started working again. Swear 2 stars. Ji-yoon ignored the talk. She didn't care about attention. But one day, a message came through the main line. Official, sealed, with high-level clearance. From Interstellar Rescue Command to Gi-yoon ID. Hashtag 17B-MAINT-P42 message. We heard what your alien companion can do. There's a mining ship trapped on Meller 5. Radiation spike. 22 people sealed inside. No way out. Shield cores fried. We're requesting your assistance. Ji-yoon looked at the screen. Then at Day. He blinked slowly. Then walked to the console and tapped the accept button with his paw. She blinked. Okay then. When they arrived, chaos greeted them. The mining station was cracked down the center. Metal beams twisted. The air shimmered with dangerous radiation. Rescue teams stood behind barriers, helpless. There's no way in, one officer said. Anyone who goes in dies in minutes. Jion put on her suit, but Day jumped down before she could say anything. He walked toward the broken airlock. Someone tried to stop him. Ma'am, that creature. He's not just a creature, Jion said sharply. Let him go. Day walked through the breach. Toxic alarms screamed. Lights flickered. Then something strange happened. A deep, vibrating hum filled the air. It was his purring. Then the radiation levels dropped. Slowly, the shield generators sparked, then buzzed, then rebooted. The locked doors to the lower chamber slid open with a hiss. The miners stumbled out, coughing, eyes wide in shock. Some dropped to their knees. What was that thing? One of them whispered. That thing saved us, said another. It walked through fire like it didn't care. And then everything just worked again. Day walked out last, tail flicking, faint golden light glowing around him. He didn't look back. Within hours, the galactic net exploded. Alien Hellcat becomes hero. Unwanted pet saves 22 lives in mining disaster. Mutant from Shelter Hill's radiation zone. Ji-Yoon's communication line wouldn't stop buzzing. Biotech companies offered thousands for blood samples. Scientists wanted to scan him. Reporters begged for interviews. She refused them all. He's not a lab rat, she said. He's my family. Day sat proudly on her shoulder, tail wrapped around her neck like a scarf. He purred softly, his third eye blinking slowly. You're famous now, Gion whispered. Day looked up at her. Then, for the first time, a voice echoed in her mind. It wasn't words, exactly. It was feeling. Clear, deep, lonely. You didn't throw me away. Ji-Yoon froze, her breath caught in her throat. You can speak, they said I was broken, but you gave me food, warmth, time. I didn't know what kindness felt like before. Tears gathered in her eyes. She smiled. Well, she said quietly, I'm broken too. I guess that makes us a good team. Day purred again, louder this time. From that day forward, they traveled together, not just as rescuer and rescued, but as a pair who understood each other's pain and worth. After the rescue on Milo 5, Jion didn't return to her quiet life on orbit station 17B. She COULDN single quotes T. Her shuttle received hundreds of calls every day. Scientists begged to study Day. Reporters chased her with questions. Politicians made offers. Man even tried to sneak into her ship and steal Day's whisker for testing. Juin locked the ship tighter and avoided crowded ports. She only answered calls from rescue teams, real emergencies. Day didn't like attention either. He hissed at cameras and hid under the engine when strangers came near. But when someone was injured, frightened, or sick, Day would walk toward them with calm steps. His body glowed faintly gold. His third eye stayed half closed, like it was watching something deep beyond space. One day, a child got stuck inside a collapsed transport pod. Fire crews couldn't reach her. They called G-EUN. Day slinked into the wreck. Sparks flew. Metal creaked. Minutes later, he came out, carrying the girl by her jacket collar, like a kitten. She was crying, but safe. Another day, a viral warhead was found hidden on a warlord's cruiser. Day walked straight up to it, licked the core, and it melted harmlessly. People stopped calling him a monster. They called him a gift. The galactic net gave him a nickname, the Savior Cat, the Broken Miracle, the hero no one wanted. But Jion didn't care about names. At night, when she was alone, she still fixed ship parts, oiled gears, and rewired broken drones. And Day still curled beside her, purring at the sound of the engine hum. He only ever spoke to her. I feel full when you talk, he once said inside her mind, like light fills up my bones. Jion had never told anyone the truth, why she really took him that day. Years ago, during a reactor explosion on her first station, her brother Jin died saving her. She was the engineer on duty. It was her system that failed. She never forgave herself. After that, she avoided people, left her home, and lived alone on broken stations. Machines didn't judge. Metal didn't talk back. But Day looked at her like he understood. One night, while docked near a dying moonbase, Ji-Yoon woke up coughing. Smoke filled her ship. A fuel line had burst while she slept. She was dizzy, weak. She tried to stand but collapsed. She could barely hear Day's pause as he ran across the floor. Then, a sharp pain in his teeth on her wrist. Then cold green mist over her face. She breathed again. Day, she whispered, coughing. Don't die, he said in her mind. You're the only one who saw me. Tears rolled down her cheeks. She pulled him close, hugged his weird, bristled body. He didn't pull away. But fame had a dark side. The bigger Day's legend grew, the more dangerous things became. One day, a man named Commander, back from the Unified Science Front, came to meet them. He wore a clean white uniform and held a smile that never touched his eyes. "You're special, Miss June," he said, "and your pet would a gift to humanity. We'd like to run some tests. Just a few. For science. For the good of all." Ji-yoon stood in front of Day. "He's not going anywhere." The commander's smile faded. "He's a biohazard class. Species he may be a threat. You're keeping alien tech without license. That's illegal." Ji-yoon didn't blink. "Then arrest me." They tried. She flew away in the middle of the night, flying fast through wormholes and scrap belts. They followed her. Once, they shot tracking darts at her shuttle. Day fried them mid-air with a growl. Another time they tried to bribe a nearby station to trap her in docking clamps. She used her tools to blow the clamps apart. Everywhere she ran, someone wanted Day his cells, his DNA, his power. But Day stayed silent. And Ji-yoon stayed strong. Then, the final call came. A massive colony. Ship the Baekdu Horizon was spiraling out of control. Its core reactor was overloading. 2,000 people were trapped on board. Escape pods had failed. Shield walls were crumbling. The officials were silent. No one wanted to send rescue teams into certain death. But they sent one message to Ji-yoon. Didn't wait. She and Day flew in fast, weaving through floating debris and reactor storms. The Baekdu Horizon groaned and creaked like it was already breaking. Fire crawled along the side of the hull. Inside, alarms screamed. Children cried. People hugged their families and prayed. Ji-yoon landed at the emergency dock. Day didn't wait. He leaped out and ran. This time he didn't just glow. He burned. Like a star. His body flared gold and green. Static charged the air. Doors opened with no power. Fire stopped in its path. Airlocks sealed. Oxygen flooded back into rooms. Dog-yoon watched from the monitor, whispering, "Come back, Day. Please." But the core was breaking. The last wall was seconds from shattering. Day reached it. He pressed his body against the reactor. His eyes closed. There was a sound like a giant breath taken across space. Then silence. All lights on the Baekdu Horizon turned green. The reactor stabilized. 2,000 lives saved. Day did not come back. Out. Ji-yoon screamed his name, ran into the ship, pushed past survivors searching. But when she reached the core, he was gone. Only a small piece of burned copper wire sat on the floor, still warm. She held it close, sat in that room for hours, crying softly. The world went quiet. News spread everywhere. The cat, the monster, the hero, gone. People mourned. They built a statue on Earth's main station Theta platform. Garden. It was simple. Bronze. A three-eyed cat with a jagged tail and a tilted head. A small smile on his face. Like he knew something no one else did. The plaque read, "To the one no one wanted who became the hero no one expected." Underneath, in smaller letters, "Adopt even monsters." Ji-yoon returned to her old ship. She never took another passenger. Never answered media calls. But every now and then, when the lights flickered, when the engine hummed in just the right tone, she felt warmth curl around her leg, a faint purr near her chest. Once, during a repair, she cut her hand. Green mist drifted from the corner of the room. She didn't look up. She just smiled. Whispered, "You never really left." And somewhere in the deep stars, maybe a strange three-eyed cat still walks between broken machines, looking for someone just broken enough to love him.